Hey, Vet Church. I hope everyone is staying well. It's a very unfortunate circumstance we're going through right now, not only in our individual communities, but in our country and in the world. It's a scary time, and it's difficult to find blessings in times like these. One of the things that I've kind of learned over the years is that uh, difficult times, times of fear and uncertainty and concern, are great times for us to simply rely more heavily on the grace and love of our God. Uh, if we're able to do that, uh, we begin to understand better the things that we were beyond our control anyway, and uh, and it gives us an opportunity to visit uh, in our spirits with God and perhaps learn some things. You know, this world is full of distractions, things that draw our attention away from our relationship with God. There's television, there's all forms of entertainment, there's so many places to go and things to do uh, that God can really fall down on our list of priorities. And prayer and simply sitting in conversation with God gets very low on the list of priorities because there's so many other things to do. Well, a lot of those distractions are being taken away from us right now. And so we're all left with a lot of spare time on our hands. And I suggest that one of the most productive ways to use that spare time is to do it in prayer. There are a lot of directions that we can take in our prayer life at this point in time to not only learn more about ourselves, but learn more about others. I'll give you an example. Last night, we watched the movie 1917. And then after the movie was over, during quiet time and in prayer, I came to realize that there are so many people that have experienced fear at a much deeper level than I've ever experienced in my life. I've been blessed not to ever have to experience the level of fear that soldiers during wartime have had to face. And I feel very blessed. And so I felt compelled at that point to count my blessings and to thank the Lord that my courage and my character was never tested in the ways that soldiers have had their courage and character oftentimes tested. Um, it also gave me the opportunity to evaluate judgment, the judgments that we make about other people. What I came to understand when I understood about the soldiers being tested far more rigorously than I've ever been tested in my life, I came to the understanding that everyone has their own sets of challenges, and everyone is a product of the challenges that they've faced during their lifetime. And because I have no idea about the challenges and the fears and the traumas that have been experienced by individuals, I have no right to judge the way they respond to the world at all. And so I was given a little bit of a lesson in humility about how wrong it is to judge other people when we have no idea whatsoever what they've been through. I think that might be why we get scriptural messages that say, judge not. I think that's why we get scriptural messages that say, just love one another. It's because it's the only it's the only way to live our lives purely, I suppose. So, growing deeper in understanding of others is a blessing that we can find through this trial. Um, you know, it's no fun at all to look within and to see the areas in which we ourselves fall short, and downtime, quiet time, the necessary time we have on our own right now because of our circumstances can also be a blessing, because you can take that downtime and you can look within and you can look to learn more about yourself. I'll tell you, I'm not happy about this, but I had a disagreement with a friend a couple of days ago. And in quiet time, I've now spent time reflecting on how I handled it, on the level of patience or impatience that I demonstrated, and how I might have handled it differently. And when you learn from your mistakes, you have an opportunity to grow. Like I said, looking within is no fun if you're finding areas in which you're flawed, you're imperfect, you have failed to live up to the standard that perhaps you even hold for yourself in your own mind. Without introspection, I think a bunch of us, maybe feel like we're performing a little better than we actually are. But when you have a chance to look within, and to do it prayerfully, I think God opens our eyes to basically opportunities for more love, to give more love that we've missed because of our own behavior, because of our own selfishness, or whatever. You don't have to judge yourself about it or condemn yourself about it, but it certainly is eye-opening when you open your heart and ask God to show you how you could have done things better. It's an eye-opening experience. In this difficult time, there's another blessing, and that is a blessing of gratitude. We're all feeling the strain of having our freedom restricted. Stay indoors, don't go out. And so maybe we could spend a little time feeling grateful about the freedoms that we experience under normal circumstances, and the freedoms in which we've had the opportunity to live our lives thus far. We see empty grocery shelves, and maybe we could spend a little bit of time being thankful for the abundance that we enjoy and take for granted on a daily basis, or we have enjoyed and taken for granted up to this point. We focus right now on trying to stay well. Maybe we could spend a little bit of time in gratitude for the health that we've enjoyed up to this point. Because I'll tell you this, if you start to count those blessings and you allow your heart to be filled with gratitude, there's less room in your heart for concerns about your own well-being. A heart full of gratitude doesn't have a whole lot of room for selfishness. And so that is yet another blessing that can be found in this trying time. I'm sure that there are many more that I've yet to discover, and many that you have already discovered for yourself that maybe you'll want to share with others at some point. But in the meantime, please be responsible and be safe and be well and know that you're loved. Bye.